What's up, guys? Welcome to AMD Garage. I'm Huck, and today we're going to be talking suspension. We partnered up with TCI Engineering to do a suspension setup for my 85 GMC. If you guys haven't heard of TCI Engineering, they're out in California. They've been in business for a long time. They started out in street rod stuff. I knew them when I was a kid as street rod setups, coilover, independent front suspensions for like 32 Fords and stuff. Well, now they've moved into muscle cars and pickup trucks, and they've got a killer engineering program over there, and they do all kinds of stuff. So if you don't know who they are, check them out. It's TCI Engineering, and their marketing guy, Jason, he's out all the time traveling the country, doing autocrosses, working with people that are building with their parts and running the cars and trucks, and it's really impressive. So I watched one of these trucks with this very front suspension whoop up on some full chassis trucks in Texas a year and a half ago at the Good Guys show. So I'm pretty excited to have this. So we're going to do a little unboxing today and show y'all more about what they offer for square body trucks. So this is the Crossmember that's the basis of their front suspension. So if you know anything about these trucks, the independent front suspension came out with the coil springs, and as we know it now, in 1963. So that means it was designed in the late 50s, early 60s. So there's all kinds of stuff on the market: tubular A-arms, coilovers, different springs, different rates. All that's great, and all that will improve the handling and the ride of your truck. But until you address the pickup points and where that stuff rotates and mounts, you're only going to be able to go so far. So what TCI does is they came up with this whole crossmember that replaces the factory crossmember. You unbolt it out of the frame, you bolt this one back in, you can weld it if you want, but this is a bolt-on setup for the weekend guy in his own garage. And this modifies all the pickup points, all the Ackerman angles, all the steering angles. This improves everything to bring your truck up into the modern age. So I come from a racing background, so that was really exciting to hear when I was talking to Jason about it. It comes with mounting for rack and pinion steering. Like I said, tubular A-arms, got coilover shocks for it. And this is the basis to really bring that thing up into the modern time. So this is a heavy duty piece. It's all nicely welded, gusseted. I honestly don't know how thick this plate is. I should have measured that, but this is probably 1/4 inch plate. Bolts to your stock frame rails. You can retain that. We're going to put this in the truck just as they designed it, and then later on I'll probably do some boxing of the frame rails and some other improvements just to carry the project along. This is a great basis to get us started. So to go along with the crossmember, these are the outside plates where the shocks will mount. This actually goes up on the frame rail like that. Shock mounts here, bolts in, and these plates sandwich the frame and the crossmember to really give you some strength. These are all made of the same thick plate that one is. You can see the beautiful welds. This is all really nice work. I believe a lot of this stuff is done by hand in-house. So it's really impressive. This will really strengthen everything. So the next pieces are the A-arms. They've got these big, beefy lower control arms. Got all the hardware, got the bushings pressed in them. Again, they're all beautifully welded. They've got little washers and little cones, so it all rotates nicely. Got the tabs welded for your shock mounts, your sway bar mount. Ball joints already in it. Got Zerk fittings, good bushings. It's all just top quality stuff. The upper A-arms are the same way. It's got your studs here. These go into the brackets, kind of like a stock design, but like I said, all the pickup points are much improved over factory. And again, a greasable ball joint, real nice bushings inside, all the hardware, lock nuts, all stainless hardware. So more impressive pieces. And then one thing to note is when you order up their system, you need to know what engine you're going to be running, because their engine stands are specific to LS for me, small block, big block, whatever you want to run, but I'm running a LS motor. So these engine stands will go like this in the Crossmember, and you just use those with the CPP engine mounts is what they recommend for the square body. So I've got a set of those as well. The CPP mounts come with these slider plates, real nice black powder coated, got recessed head bolts. The other half of the slider plate is the same way. And then you have the rubber mount itself. So all of that is used in conjunction with these engine stands, and that'll give you what you need to mount your engine. So then the next piece of the magic is the coilover shocks. So they get these from Ride Tech. These are single adjustables. That is great for most guys. You know, if you're gonna be like me where you're a highway truck, a weekend truck, and do the occasional autocross, these are great. It adjusts compression and rebound with this little knob up top. You have your choice of spring rate. These are 600-pound springs. I think you can go 750, or there's also a lighter one, I can't remember, but you get a choice of spring rate. They're Hyper-Co coils, real good quality. We used to use these on the race team when I worked at the race team, and they're very adjustable for height and compression. So these will be great. I'm excited about that. So one more piece to the puzzle is the front sway bar. This is a 0.625-inch solid bar. Just goes right on the control arms and the frame with its little saddle mounts. And you can't use the factory bar, so you got to use this. I've seen some guys adapt aftermarket spline bars. That may happen later down the road once we're a little more hardcore, but this is a great start. So then the next big ticket item for bringing this thing up into the modern age is a steering rack. So this will get rid of the old sector steering with the center link, tie rod ends, the steering box, all that stuff. So this will save some weight, and this will give you a lot better steering response. Don't fall. So then are these little steering arms. So these are meant to work with a Willwood spindle. I'm not quite sure what the benefit is. Jason over there at TCI told me this is the magic that makes it all work and work very well. So we're going to install this first with the spindles I have. We'll see what it does, and then I'm going to get some Willwood spindles and some bigger brakes, and then we'll put these on and see how much that changes things. And they give you all the hardware you could ever need. So I hope you guys are ready, because this is going to be quite a process. In order to install all this TCI Engineering front suspension, front clip of the truck's got to come off, radiator out, the whole front clip, front fenders, front bumper, core support, radiator, engine and transmission have to come out. Then I'll pull the stock cross member and suspension out, and then we'll start to build it back up from there. So we'll take y'all along for all of that. We may fast forward through some of it, but you know, I'm not going to get too technical on you, but you'll see all the process. So definitely watch the AMD socials AMD Garage YouTube channel, my socials. It'll all be all over that stuff. All right, I wanted to mock up the whole setup so you can get a good visual of how this is going to look in the truck. So you can see the A-arms are at a lot steeper angle, give you better caster than you could ever hope for on a stock truck. The coilovers mount at a little bit of an angle. That's better for steering. There's different theories there, straight up and down or at an angle. I like that they're at about a 30-degree angle. All the control arms move nice and freely. So this is a pretty good setup. It's all nicely made. Like I said, it's all heavy plate steel. I don't know about weight savings. We'll weigh them both and see. But even if there's no weight savings, this is such a better system, such a better design. This will just totally blow away anything from 1985. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing of the TCI Engineering front suspension. Stay tuned to all the AMD Garage socials and the YouTube channel, and watch mine as well. It'll all be posted there, and we'll take you through the process.